Slayer.
Halo there! Welcome to Halo There, the Halo podcast here on Xbox the Box, our limited run podcast of 5 to 6 weeks, depending how much you guys enjoy it. My name is Potatochief, and I'm with my good friend Alice. How you doing?
Hi, my pronouns are she, they, and we just came with this idea for this one. As soon as Lewis has mentioned about having the limited one podcast. I mean, Starfield is coming out in September. Don't know if it's a better idea to mention it in August, but I thought we would just have this opportunity to talk about Halo Infinite in the run-up before Starfield comes out in September.
I mean, that's the plan. We love Halo. If you're a regular listener to Xbox the Box, which is our Xbox podcast, we do talk about Halo Infinite pretty much every episode. So I thought, instead of just repeating ourselves on that, I thought we'd just repeat ourselves on our own separate podcast. Just talk about Halo for a half hour. So I love Halo. We love Halo here. So we're obsessed. So yeah, we're going to talk about it. We've got a 6-week run planned. If it's really popular, we'll keep going. But obviously, we got a 6-week plan run up straight up to Starfield time, and then we'll be starting a Starfield podcast. And so this is like a limited run series. And obviously, we'll bring back Halo there whenever there's a new Halo game or new season. So when season 5 comes out, we will be doing more episodes and stuff like that. But obviously, we're only going to be here when there's news to talk about. So, yeah, hopefully don't get too quiet over the next couple of weeks.
Hopefully not.
We love Halo. So, yeah, we're just going to I'm just rambling a little bit here. So, we've got the run of show here. So, we're just going to be doing our new introduction here. So, so my name is Potatochief. If you're new here, I run a wrestling channel called Potato Pro Wrestling, and I'm also the host or one of the hosts of Xbox the Box and Xbox Podcast. And we are trying a new thing out with Halo there. I'm a massive fan of Halo. I've been playing it since the first one. It's the reason I own an Xbox, and I've owned every Xbox. Halo 3 is my favorite. Reach is pretty sweet too. And Bungie is just like my favorite ones. I'm not a super fan of the 343 stuff, but I feel like Infinite has really nailed it gameplay wise. I think it's really good. Needs to work on the content side, but I'm still really enjoying my time with Halo Infinite. I'm a major bronze grade 3. I'm level 59 on this current battle pass, but I have maxed out all the battle passes previously, including the Christmas one that had 30 free levels.
You mean winter update?
The winter update, yeah. I don't know why I said Christmas. The holiday, the Hanukkah Game Pass. So that's my history with Halo. And Alice, why don't you tell us about your Halo history?
Well, to add, at the moment, I am a brigade general, whether that is, but I'm also around level 50. So therefore, it's I've been playing a bit of Halo Infinite. But I've actually been playing Halo Infinite more than often. I remember, I was introduced to Halo through demos and magazines, and it's just it's really interesting, nice world building. And when I got an Xbox, I didn't go for Halo. I just went into Blinks and Quantum Redshift.
Oh my god, Blinks.
But I was properly introduced to Halo when I got Halo 2 for Christmas in 2004. Almost 20 years ago, and I've been playing the multiplayer to death. But back then, you have all the modes, and there's no Forge or Firefight, and you only got a few maps, and you get a few bit more through DLCs. But it was definitely a really good time where everyone got together. It's easy enough to get all the people on voice chat and got into custom games like hide and seek and zombies. And I did take a delay towards Halo 3, but I got into it and I really loved the campaign and the multiplayer. And then it just also took a delay for me to get into Halo Reach. But yeah, I just got more involved with Halo with Halos 4 and 5. Didn't get my toes dipped into Master Chief Collection, but I just got into Halo Infinite, and I have to say the campaign is really good, wish that they could have fully completed it and not cut so much content out. But it does have like lots of good stuff about the multiplayer. And I have to say the formula still works, even though the content is like lacking and they've been very, very slow. But right now, like compared to launch, you can get things like Forge, the career progression system, and a few other bits like lots more armor cores. Like it started out with the Samurai Yoi armor and Mark V core, but now you have like the hazmat, which is like the hazmat protection thing, Chimera, which is like a robot hybrid, as well as a Mirage, which is based on one of the I think it was one of the legacy armors and kind of makes it look like a retro spaceman. So, but yeah, it's just been playing Halo Infinite more often, and it was pretty much my muse just to like try to use it as some kind of guilty pleasure. Also, I just got involved with more microtransactions and whatnot. So,
ooh, yeah, that's the problem. The microtransactions. I try not to buy them, but I have been guilty. I have bought the shoulder pads. You can see on my, you can see me wearing them now. How do you like my shoulder pads with the wolves on them? And I have bought the samurai swords and stuff for the katana and all that. But yeah, and I bought all the battle passes. So I'm guilty. I don't want to be a Halo whale, but I am a little bit. Trying to cut down on it a little bit, but. Yeah, I really enjoy Halo Infinite. It's such a good game. And also, it just makes me think. You were just talking about Halo 2 and Halo 3 and like how the multiplayer was just so much fun back in the day. Are we spoiled as gamers these days?
Yes.
Because like Halo Infinite pretty much came out with more or less the same kind of the content that Halo 3 and Halo 2 had for like the entirety of its like run. Yet we were really happy with Halo 2 and Halo 3 back in the day. And we just kept playing it. I guess we did have like the badges and stuff have only just been added now, like leveling up that way. But I don't know. It's weird. It's weird to think. I could still play Halo 3 like to this day though. To be fair, but yes, I don't know. Maybe we are spoiled as gamers, but hey, like can't wait for season 5. Still playing season 4. Still enjoying myself. So can't complain really. Yeah, I'm excited, and we got to talk about more of season 5 in a bit. But yeah, well, I think that's really much the intro done. As I said previously, we're going to be doing 6 episodes and seeing where we go from there, and then we'll be changing over to Starfield, and then maybe change back after Starfield back to Halo. It depends if there's anything. Like, I'm trying to think what games would be coming out 6 weeks after Starfield, if that's a 6-week run. We haven't planned that far ahead. We haven't even got a name for the Starfield podcast yet. We're trying to think of one. If you have any funny puns for Starfield podcast names, let us know in the comments below, because I can't think of any.
Oh,
Halo there took me bloody ages. I was thinking, like, all sorts of other things, like Master Chief We Trust and Hail to the Chief. I know, some dumb names like that.
I was kind of thinking like chatting with Craig, but you don't like Craig.
No, I'm not a fan of Craig. It's a representation of the worst parts of Halo Infinite, unfortunately. I don't mind Craig. It's a funny meme, but it's like also if you don't know it, then you kind of like you don't know it's a Halo podcast from that, really. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, this is Halo there. We're gonna go into our topics. So we got a couple of topics to cover. So first up, you broke this on the Xbox the Box podcast this week. Firefight might be coming to Halo Infinite. I'm excited. I'm very excited.
Yeah, you were really ecstatic on the podcast when I mentioned it. Like as soon as I mentioned that and the campaign AI, you were like incredibly so excited that you'll be so sad when it doesn't come out on season 5.
Yeah, I'm gonna cry if it don't come out. I swear. Like Firefight is my favorite mode. I did say earlier, Halo 3 is my favorite Halo game, but like Halo ODST and Halo Reach, I played so much Firefight on those games. I love Firefight. It's such a good concept. And then I don't know how they messed it up. They had like Spartan Ops and stuff, and it was like, we'll just make them into missions. Like all you have to do is have 1 to 4 Spartans against waves and waves of enemies that get more difficult and more difficult and more difficult. That's all you need to do. You don't need to make it more complicated than that. And I'm sold. I'm already in if you do that.
Well, it's
sign me up.
it's basically that they're introducing some PvE elements into it, and if they were to do this, put this in like season 5, that will like show Overwatch 2 how it's done because they promise PvE stuff, but then they haven't got around to doing like campaigns and story modes, and that sucks. So with this one, the data mining suggests that we could be getting firefight modes according to some of the settings that's in the custom games, which points out to how the enemies spawn and all those bits, which could suggest it might be coming sooner than later. It also comes with campaign AI that will be in Forge, which means you can program your own enemies and even like triggers to get into it, which means it's possible they might actually like get all this functionality to work with not only like Firefly but also custom story mode like missions. So the campaign AI was tipped to be on the earlier season, but they've been making delays, and therefore we could expect this to come out like by the end of this year, like with Forge last year. But I think at this rate we might be able to see this in season 5. So watch your space.
Fingers crossed. I mean, that's why I'm really hoping we get that. I mean, people are like really excited to see infection mode and Forge and some of that stuff. So a lot of people are happy they've got the stuff they've wanted. I want Firefight. That's like my top of my list of stuff I want for Halo, and I hope we get it. I really do. Like Horde mode on Gears of War, I was obsessed with that as well back in the day. So just like any of that, just bring it on. I love it. Can't wait. So up next we have... Well, you know a bit more about this than I do. So a Red versus Blue Restoration has been announced. It's the final series of Red versus Blue, the Halo spin-off parody show made by Rooster Teeth. It's been going for about 20 years, and they're going to be finally wrapping it up. I don't really know much about it, so do you want to cover it?
Yes. So basically, announced during this year's RTX, Rooster Teeth's convention, there's an announcement during that animation panel where Red vs. Blue Restoration has been announced, and it's meant to be the last series, and that comes after a bunch of PDSAs, a attempted reboot that failed, which is Red vs. Blue Zero, and they completed about 17 seasons thus far, but now Buddy Benz will be writing this series with Matt Hilliam as director to create, which I hope to be the final season of the show, which wraps up all the loose ends to do with the storytelling, which means it's probably going to wrap it up and go for a huge conclusion. And it's also going to continue off where it goes off at season 13 before they did another season where I thought it was actually a bit fun where they try out different animation styles and all these jokes, and then they just went into some time traveling shenanigans. That much.
I haven't really watched it since the first and second series, to be honest. I kind of fell off. I used to really like I was saying this in the Xbox podcast the other day. I really liked RB and the Chief. That was more my thing back in the day. But yeah, machinima used to be such a big thing, and it's kind of just died out really as a form of entertainment, which is weird. I thought it'd be the future, you know. The amount of people who love video games and love talking about video games and doing stuff with video games is surprising to me that machinima has kind of died out. Really, I can't even think of any other machinima series that are still going apart from Red versus Blue. And as you said, this might be the end of it as we know it. I mean, are we machinima right now? I mean, kinda, sort of.
Well,
I am a machinima.
I don't know, but there's definitely a machinima mode on Halo Infinite, but I think it's a little bit late because back then there's no machinima controls. You had to gather up all those controls, use System Link, and you puppeteer all the characters there, but they have to crop the screen to hide the UI. The HUD elements, so you just get some kind of bit of a cramped, blurry image there. then Halo 2 is when they started to add in more controls and secret settings, so it's easier to get better quality of the gameplay. But it just got better with each and every main series release.
Red versus Blue. I was a big fan of it back in the day. It does seem like it is kind of its time has passed, so maybe it is about time that it ends now and we get the final series. But it is sad to think it's an end of an era, really. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. You never know. You never know. Okay. Now the other bit of news is Master Chief and the Arbiter are coming to Brawlhalla in the Brawlhalla Combat Evolved update. If you don't know what Brawlhalla is, it's basically Super Smash Brothers, but not as good. But hey, you get Master Chief and Arbiter, so that's cool. I mean, I'm a huge Super Smash Brothers fan. I went to tournaments and stuff, and I played it for years, and I was really into it. And my main character that I wanted to go into Super Smash Brothers is Master Chief. I've always dreamed of having Master Chief in Smash Brothers, and people are like, "That's ridiculous." I was like, "Well, Steve, like Minecraft Steve's on there, and Banjo, which are both owned by Xbox, so why not?" So I've always thought Master Chief was a possibility, but it hasn't happened yet. But if you want to have that experience, the closest thing you could get now is Arbiter and Master Chief coming to Brawlhalla. Are you excited to this? Are you actually going to play it? I'm probably not, but it's just an interesting.
Most likely not, because I haven't been introduced to it. But I think it's nice that they bringing out characters from different franchises. And mind you, this has been like a Ubisoft title. It's just like pretty much like it's a live service and has all those things going on. But it just makes me wonder, like, as I was introduced to Paladins, and whenever they do crossover characters, they do like skins for different characters. So in Brawlhalla, what is it like? Arbiter and Chief being like brand new characters to the game, or is it like skins for the pre-existing characters?
That's a good point. I'm not 100% sure, to be honest. I think they're new characters.
I'll just go look it up. But yeah, so I've been reading the patch notes, and it says here that they've been adding from across all the different franchises, and they added a new mode called Oddball, which is inspired by Halo's Oddball, which also comes with several weapon skins, emotes, and avatars from the franchise. And
okay, that sounds awesome.
So then there's like Master Chief and Arbiter, and there's like needlers and all those bits like that. So it's interesting, but still doesn't make sense as to like whether it's a skins or whether it's new characters. But I think I'm starting to think. Oh, there's a. I just got a fandom Brawlhalla wiki. Oh yeah, it's one of the epic crossover skins available in the game, and I think it's supposed to. It says here mirrors the abilities of Ishida, and
don't know who that is, but okay.
And yeah, this was a gun-ho mercenary by the looks of it. So yeah, these are definitely like skins that you just put on the game. So yeah.
Well, that's a bit more of a letdown. I'm going to be honest. I got my hopes up there. So it's kind of like the you could get the Doomslayer outfit or Sans outfit in Super Smash Brothers, but they're not their own characters. You just have them as avatar like outfits. It's kind of the same as that. So that's kind of a letdown, but still cool crossover, I guess. It's nice to see Halo getting a bit more representation. I feel like even though Halo is like the marquee franchise of Xbox, it doesn't get anywhere near as much love as like a Mario or something does with Nintendo. Like, I feel like Master Chief should be more like out there, he should be in more things. I would love to see him in a kart racer and on a fighting game and all sorts. Bring it on. Even if it is a bit silly, I would love to see it. I don't even think even some of Nintendo's B franchises seem to get more love than like Master Chief does. Like it's weird. I would love to see more crossover stuff. But yeah, I suppose it's an interesting little crossover. It was interesting news. But yeah, that's our topics of today. We got one more topic to go, which is our topic of the show.
You obviously want to go Xbox the box on this.
Yeah. Well, that's a segment we have on Xbox the box is called topic of the show, but we're reusing it for this show because yeah. So our topic of the show is a bit clickbaity, I'm not going to lie, but it is. Are people still playing Halo Infinite? Yes. Thank you for watching, and until next time, no, I'm joking. Some people are playing it. Well, we're playing Halo Infinite still. We still love it. We still enjoy it. But you said you had the statistics.
Yes, according to the activeplayer.io, which I don't know if this is a credible source or whether it's been constantly updated, but the amount of online players, it says here, above is a count on Halo Infinite live player count. The number comes straight from Steam stats. Oh, then it's probably just a old link.
Just Steam then.
Okay. So this, because at the moment, the Steam charts suggest that it kind of avers between 6,000 to 2,000, but I think there's some like numbers suggesting it goes into like around 20,000 or some sort like that. So I don't think there's a lot of like easy stats there, but on the PC version at least, less than 7,000 players are still playing the game, and yet there's still people who pop in and they like get really excited when there's a classic BTB, which is like 8 against 8 mode of Big Team Battle in this week's update, and has 3 maps that came from the previous Halo games, including the Rat's Nest and Vandala or whatever that is.
Valhalla.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think there's some like really interesting stats there, but then the game is still not like going into millions, and it's easy enough like you go into matchmaking and you have a better chance to either like you mix with the same player you played with a previous match, or you play with someone on the friends list like you.
Yeah, I mean, like we were, and also like there was that one time where we were playing separately, and we just ended up bumping into each other in a BTB battle. So there can't be that many people playing if we just randomly bump into each other in an online game.
Yes.
Man, it makes me sad when I think about Halo 3, and it was like it said this is the active player base. You can see the map of the world with all the like dots on it. It was like completely covered. It was so rad to see that back in the day, and now it's like less than 20,000 people on Steam. I don't know how much this is gonna be like informative, but I'm on my Xbox at the moment. I'm just looking at the most played games on Xbox, and it's on the 3rd or 4th row. I think it's number 32 on the list, which isn't great. Below Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Forza Horizon 4, Need for Speed Unbound, The Sims 4, Hogwarts Legacy, Farming Simulator, blooming heck, Ark, Football Manager. I mean, Overwatch is way ahead. Rocket League, Minecraft. I mean, number 1 is Fortnite, which is unfortunate, and then Call of Duty.
Right.
And then
I really
FIFA.
need to butt in to say that Fortnite is not really a good comparison there. You already know it's a huge game, and its biggest competitor is PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, and these are actually in the same genre. So we're not really comparing it to these live services.
No, I know. I'm just saying that it's a far cry from when Halo 3 came out. It was the game on Xbox, and now it does seem like Halo Infinite is kind of not. It's like it's not the top of the, which is a shame because I would love it to be number 1. I don't like Fortnite. I like Halo, so I'm looking at the list. And it's ahead of PUBG actually. So yes, take that PUBG. Ha. Gotcha. Not sure what this order is. I'm assuming the most popular is the first one that's on the list because it goes Fortnite, Call of Duty, FIFA, Grand Theft Auto, Roblox, Minecraft. That does seem like the most popular games you would imagine on the Xbox system. So yeah. and FIFA's on here twice, which just seems a bit unfair. Like, you've got the same FIFA on here twice. You got the Xbox One and the Xbox Series as two different versions, which is like, damn. Is it really that popular that it gets third and fourth slot on the top most popular games list? God damn.
Right. I need to interrupt you because I found the actual stat there, which is it's been referenced in Mid-Splits' video, but it's been posted on Twitter, which means I don't have an account on Twitter, so I cannot check. But I found the reference in the video, which is posted like 5 days ago. According to Halo.api on Twitter, there's a total of 15,533 players who played around 6:30 p.m. and it's based on 221,955 unique players who have played Halo Infinite at least once since June the 20th, 2023. So it's very similar to the stats there, but I think the link I show with you, which is on Active Player, it suggests 500,000, but now it's been reduced to 200,000. But the amount of unique players playing online is just like about 25% less than before. So it's a bit of a shame, really.
I mean, we're just talking numbers here. So like a lot of people are like just like the numbers just going over their head. I mean, we just want to try and be in like put it in a bit of perspective, I guess. Like that's a lot less than we would like, I would think. It's weird that this should be Xbox's number one live service like franchise, and it doesn't feel like it is. I feel like even stuff like Sea of Thieves and stuff seems to get more attention from Xbox, which is really annoying, to be honest. I don't know why. I don't know why Halo isn't as popular as it used to be. Maybe I'm just old. I don't know. I love Halo, and I will always play Halo. I'm looking if there's a Halo Infinite 2 or like a Halo 7 or whatever, I will be playing it for sure. Even if I just me and you just playing, it's just us two, and I don't know, like a giant map, just the two of us.
Well, I think the real problem is it's pretty much spoken out in like even on social media and YouTube before. But I think it's just when Halo Infinite has been announced as a live service, which to me is really good because anyone can download the game and check it out. But I think, as you said, that the people are getting spoiled with it. I think they ended up having really high expectations of what the game's supposed to be. Like, they're expecting lots of new content to come out. They're expecting more modes, which came out with the launch. But there's been delays to the modes as well as some content there. Like, last year, it was a bit atrocious. Like, Season 2 is supposed to be for, like, 3 months. It's now, like, it was now, like, extended to about 6 or 8 months. Which it was supposed to like stop in August after the 6-month extension, 3-month extension, whatever that is, and then it's been delayed further towards November, and that's before the winter update came out, which lasted until February. But this year they got a bit better. They stuck to their dates where Season 3, Echoes Within, has lasted between March all the way to June. And now we're in like Season 4, which is Infection, which is really simple because it's just got Infection, new content, and just a few more maps. But they're already like sticking to their guns, and they're now like offering more content. But I imagine what really improved the game for me is ever since they introduced Forge does produce a lot more better quality of maps. And now you can see them a lot more often in the matchmaking, which is possible for old maps to come back in squad battle, and even some of the community maps which are now integrated into medieval playlists. In fact, I mean, they hired a bunch of people who now like rotate community maps around the playlist just to keep the game fresh, like every month or every quarter of the year.
That's good. No, I agree. I think that's a really good point because I played the alpha for this and the beta and like pretty much everything, and then I played it non-stop for months when it first came out. And there was not many maps at launch, and they didn't really. And then like we were all like, "Oh, I can't wait for Season 2. We'll get some new maps." And then they literally added 2 maps, and then it's just been very slow rollout of maps. But now we got Forge and we got custom maps added in and stuff. It's so much. It does feel every time I play it, I don't feel like I'm playing the same maps all the time, which is nice. We do seem to have a nice variety now. Also, I was going to mention the fact that you said Halo Infinite they came out as this is a live service. I got something that's going to blow your mind, right? You know Halo 3,
Yes.
Halo Reach, they were already live service games. Ooh.
And why is that?
Because it was update. They had updated content. They would add stuff. They would add new maps and stuff. But you would just be paying for the maps as map packs instead of paying for battle passes. It was already an online game that they just upgraded on a weekly or monthly basis. Not as much as now, but.
How does that make you think as if it's a live service? Because this is basically DLC stacked on top.
Because that's what a live service is. It's a live service. It's in the so it's like it's an online service that like they keep alive. I mean, it's in the name. It's an online service that you keep alive for years and years and years. And they did that with the original Halo 3 and Reach and stuff. They would keep the game alive and keep people coming back by like reintroducing like DLC and stuff and map packs and stuff like that.
Well, the only thing I would think is a live service is whether this Halo 3 and Halo Reach, it continues to be online on Master Chief's Collection, and that's where you definitely have things like seasons, and there's even like updates to the game, so you get more content. True. And there was an attempt to bring microtransactions into the game, which got a U-turn after a heavy backlash. So
yeah, I never agree on the fact of adding microtransactions to games that you pay £70 for, even though we have Game Pass now. But the fact that Halo Infinite is free, air quotes, like it's free. I mean, but I don't mind paying for a battle pass or a cosmetic every now and again. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I would have been better off paying £60. I probably would have saved more money. I wouldn't have spent as much money on this game if it came out at £60.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't like it when you pay 60, £70 for a game and then they go, oh, here's extra. Like, if you want this, you have to pay extra and all that. And everyone does it, which is really frustrating. I'm old. I like games where I didn't have to pay for microtransactions. I like getting unlocking costumes by being good at the game and not by paying money. So I am an old man in that way.
Well, the career progression at the moment is a bit unclear about the rewards, but it's rumored that you get Master Chief armor by reaching hero rank. But at the moment, the best way to progress is you have to get good at the game, where the amount of points you get during the game, like if you get loads of points into the scoreboard, it will count towards your career rank. So the better you get in the game, the faster you get.
Yeah. So with the career ranks, I'm not 100% how it works yet still. We're still both bronze at the moment. Do we like go down in level if we suck? Like if you have a really bad game where our KD is like what? Like we killed one person, we died 10 times. Does our level go down at that point, or does it always go up no matter what?
It's a lot more.
That's the case.
It's a lot more simple than that. Like, you're talking about ranked, and you do get the rank reduced if you do poorly, but the rank isn't going anywhere. The career progression is basically like once you earn points, it stays there permanently. You know, there's this like level you get in like Halo 5, which is Sparta rank, where you have to reach 152. This one works very similar, only you require less points for getting into higher ranks. So all you had to do is like you get more points in doing matches, and they will count towards your rank. If you do suck, the only difference you get is it will be a lot slower. Like if you get 150 points only doing the match, you get 150 points towards your rank, but it will be much slower because you need a lot more matches with 150 points each in order to reach higher ranks. And bronze is only like a really, really quick if you do well, because once you get into silver or gold, you need the only difference is you need more points in order to reach higher ranks as well. But the fact that the career progression has been introduced in season 4, like you had to start from scratch,
Yeah,
But
that's a
I
bit
think it's
annoying.
just likely to fulfill a certain niche of players who continue playing Infinite, because when it began, you have a lot more players playing Halo Infinite and
Yeah,
drop shift before like seasons 2 or 3. So therefore, the career progression ranks are pretty much exclusive to those who continue to play the game.
exactly. I mean, I think that's a good point you brought up about how it gets harder as you level up. Because with the battle pass progression, it's always 1,000 XP no matter what. So like level 1 to 2 is the same difficulty as level 99 to 100. It takes the same amount of XP, whereas the battle pass, the new leveling up system, it does, yeah, as you said, it gets harder the more you level up. So yeah, I imagine gold's going to take forever for us to max out.
Yes.
And then by the time that happens, they'll probably have introduced platinum or like onyx or something. They'll have another level above that by the time we actually get to gold. No one
Yes.
else. Yeah. I mean, are you guys still playing Halo Infinite? That's what I would love to know in the comments below, because we are. We still love it. Yeah, it has its flaws. It's not perfect. But hey, I enjoy it. I think it's a fun game. And yeah, I'm looking forward to season 5, and hopefully we get firefights, as we said earlier. And I'm hoping that, this game still gets supported. I'm worried that if the fan base keeps like dying out, like, this might be the last Halo, or it might just like the franchise might just change forever. I'm hoping that they can, like, I don't know. I'm hoping that people could come back for season 5 and stuff, and we can try and get this fan base up and running again. I hope. Fingers crossed. What do you think?
Yeah, I think originally, like last year, I thought it's probably like gonna die out, and we did worry whether this gonna get cancelled. But this year, it just shows like as if the growth is there, people are still playing it, and it's just like you have a new management at 343 Industries where you have different sorts of people, but they have completely like changed things around. Like they're committed to making sure that all the coding is cross core, but they did admit the system is so hard that it's not very easy to get one coding across every single core, both past and present future, which is why
Yeah.
that any coatings you buy in the shop are the only ones to like cross core, and you have across all the cores there. And I
Right.
think, and I think it's just like they made it easy enough for them to put the visors across all the cores, but not for other things like shoulder pads, for instance. And
Yeah.
this is something I don't completely get. But I think the biggest problem is that they made the system so complicated that it's not really extendable and takes more time for them to do things like adding events,
Yeah.
uh, which is the reason why that if they were to like release a sequel of Halo Infinite, which this time is in Unreal Engine and has
Yeah.
people who originally worked on Fortnite, then there will be a lot more flexibility of how the content is released, and even like get more events in, and that way more players will come in and appreciate the gameplay of Halo Infinite without being like ripped off, because in the moment the microtransactions are tied to one or two cores, and
Yeah.
it just lacks value because like they just designed the system so that any core you get is has all the exclusive content attached to it.
Yeah.
When you have like new cores, you're expected to pay more for more content to put into it, and it's just
I
what really
suppose.
frustrates people. Also, they ran into like issues with errors and how they took a long time for them to fix that, and they
Yeah.
also have problems like when you do matchmaking, it doesn't let you select regions, and you just keep like having the fluctuating amount of players based on the time of day.
Mm.
Like if you're in the UK, if you play during the day, you may take longer for you to find a match. But at night,
Yes.
you'll get more players in because you have people playing in the Mercers. But it could get very popular during like in 3 a.m. in the morning, because I imagine there's more players in the US, but there could be more
Yeah.
players in the US, but I don't know, it's a bit unknown. But yeah,
So
it's just that doesn't have a lot of flexibility in terms of regions.
yeah, I mean, like you were saying about that earlier, I was like, when we were playing the other night, I put a double XP on for an hour, And I was there for like 15, 20 minutes trying to find a game, and just nothing was happening. It just wouldn't load a game. It's just like waiting, 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 waiting. They need to sort that out. The waiting times are awful in that game. They need to sort that out. But then that's maybe down to the amount of players. I don't know. And I'm going to say something controversial about cores. I like having different cores. I like having different armor, different cores.
Yes.
I like being like Iron Man and going into my vault with like my 6 or 7 different armors. It's like, ooh, what do I look like today? Do I want to look old school, or do I want to have like a Master Chief helmet, or do I want to look like a samurai, or do I want to have my Christmas outfit? You know, I like having like a wardrobe of different Spartan armors instead of just having everything look the same, or like, you know, have multiples of the same thing. You know, I like that they all look distinctly different, and I can change between them what mood I'm in. So I don't know. Maybe that's a controversial opinion. I think shaders should definitely be cross. Obviously, that seems a bit silly to me that you can't change colors of everything. But
well,
I quite like certain armors having certain styles and stuff. Like, I don't know what would be the point of having a samurai sword with a Master Chief helmet and stuff. I don't know. That would seem a bit weird to me.
Well, I would have to say that in regards to the shaders there, the system at the moment ties it with a single coating, which is why it's more difficult for them to design the shader that applies to all the cores. So I think the 443 is just like dealing with it as if it's a more complicated problem, and we may not expect to see a solution to this. But having the cross-core coatings on it is everyone's dream. I want a cross-core coating that applies to all the cores, especially the ones from the future seasons, and that would be great. Yeah. But I think what people really want is, like in like Rocket League, where you get different paints and different finishes, like matte or gloss, and you can apply them to each part of your armor. Like in Rocket League, you just choose a base, and then you choose a pattern to put over it. And then you just choose different colors for it. And this is why, like, people like in the old Halo games, that you can pick different colors for all those different armors. And it's not like it's just kind of removes the choice. You know, like in Halo 4, like you just choose any color for your armor, but you can get like different patterns, like stripes, or even some like tribal patterns to put on your armor. That's true. That way, it still allows for more customization, which is why it's better if you're going to design the system that allows for microtransactions to come through, then maybe instead of like trying to stick to the shaders like in Destiny 2, instead you should have all the colors variable or limit some colors, but you can buy different like kinds of finishes, different kinds of patterns, and that way legendary patterns will allow more colors to be placed on armors. I mean, it's possibly with many other games that will allow this. Also, the customization is lacking. Like, you don't have cores that are like fundamentally different. Like, you don't have playable elites. You don't have cores that are like has female bodies, where a lot of the cores there, well, almost all the cores are pretty much more masculine builds, and just only edit the torso. But there's also like, those kits that are pre-established there. Well, I think you can do presets so that you can switch between different presets across different cores instead of like having to limit one design per each core.
Yeah, so I think that's fair.
There is a lot more work to this, but I think that they designed it in a way that allows for more spending or more unlocking that is exclusive to each core. And I think, to be honest, how 343 Industries have designed this is controversial at best. I just feel that the system would have been designed better, and I think when they get over to Unreal Engine 5, they will certainly learn their lesson and like bring this a much better system that allows for more flexibility, but still also allow for more options and even like purchasing options too. So that way they would have a lot of creativity to do with the Spartans, and this is what's important. Like, if you limit the creativity by only like allowing more constraints, you're just going to end up like not giving the people a lot of freedom on how they express their Spartan.
That's fair. I mean, I quite like it. I kind of get what you're saying, but I also kind of like the having like a themed Spartan. That's just me, my personal taste, really. I get what you're saying completely. I can understand where you're coming from. But personally, I'm quite happy with the way it is. But I get that. I was going to say, when it comes to shaders, I think you mentioned Destiny briefly. I'm not sure if it's still the same, but I remember when Destiny first started, you would get a shader, like a basically a color of for your what they called Guardian, and you
Yes.
literally be a one use thing. You literally like, oh, red and blue. Okay, I put that on. It's like, oh, that's gone now. You need to get another one. So you'd have to literally have like 10 different red and blue like shaders just so you could change, which is pathetic. So at least when you get a color on this game, you have it forever, even if it is a bit, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not much of a consolation, but I'm just saying. I'm not sure if that's still the same with Destiny. I haven't played it in a while, but that was a thing for a while, which was really weird. And I'm glad. Yeah, I'm glad that Halo doesn't do that. And I also, as much as I don't like some of the stuff that they're doing in Halo Infinite, I do think the customization is much better than Halo 5. Halo 5 was all loot boxes and stuff. At least you know what you're unlocking with the battle pass and stuff. And it was like snail pace unlocking stuff in Halo 5. Like you play for ages and only get one loot box, and then you'll have nothing of like decent in there at all. It was horrible Halo 5 customization. So at least I think it's better than that. But Halo 3 was still the peak. Halo 3 peaked, and Halo Reach were the best for the customization in Spartans.
Yeah,
for sure.
I agree.
Recon all the way. Lol, 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 lol. I had Recon. Lol, 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 lol.
Yeah. Anyway, I think we need to wrap this up, but we can conclude with some very interesting news we didn't get to cover during the news section. So, 10Y2 is the one that offers more customization options, and it's going to happen like next week on the July the 18th, running for 2 weeks until August the 1st. And it will come with a pre-event pass, which I imagine it's going to be 10 or 20 items, and it will be in your playlist of your choice. But it will come with more items for your UI armor. So I think this is going to be exciting. Already seen the data mined leaks, and it looks as if you can definitely get some like cool items. And one of which you get Dragonborn shoulder pads or some sort like that.
I mean, I'm sold. I didn't know about this. I'm excited. I'm gonna have to do some research after this. I already maxed the current event out, or the last event that was just happened. I can't remember. Was it Insurgents? I think it was Insurgents. I love the events. I love coming back for an event. I'm gonna be maxing this battle pass out. This sounds awesome. I'm excited. That's really cool. We'll probably talk about it more next. Well, when it happens on the Halo here, Halo here, Halo there. We'll talk. I'm sure we'll be talking about the event when it happens on the podcast for sure. We're going to be talking a lot about what we've unlocked and stuff. Oh, I can't wait now. You've got me very excited. Yay! Excitement. Halo! I love Halo.
Yeah, so what's on the moment is it will be 10Y2, but it's also going to be 10Y3 on the same year, which will be starting on the September 19th, and it will offer even more content. But there will be a Cyber Showdown 2 on August the 8th, which means you have more cyberpunk content coming this way. So if you say it this way, Season 4 is basically like level 1. Season 1 Redux, which means the Season 5 could mean we may actually see the reintroduction for more content for the Eagle Strike or some sort like that. I don't know.
Yeah. So the 10-ray out. So it's a 10-ray event, yeah? Does it mean are we getting more stuff for our Yuri
Yes.
armor?
100%.
Cool. I'm excited. That's like my favorite armor, which I haven't wore since the event last time. So that's cool. I like to as I said, it's like dressing up for like prom or whatever. It's like, ooh, what dress am I going to wear? Which Spartan armor am I wearing today? Ooh. Yes, I'm gonna be whipping out my samurai armor. Hell yeah! Got flaming helmet, and I got like black and purple. I got black with like purple highlights. It looks dope as hell. I'm
Yes.
excited. Oh yeah, I'm excited for that. That's really perked me up. I'm really excited to do that. Yeah, and I'm sorry if I've sounded bunged up today, guys. I've had a bit of a cold. I was hoping to try and get through it, but I think I've done okay. I hope.
Yeah, you did very well. And also, if you have any comments for this layout, because for this limited to one podcast, we stick with the audio only to keep things simple. I've also used Move Transition with OBS, but I think I'm running into the bit of an errors there, especially with the scene collection. But if you have any tips or advice on how to improve this and how to help me to keep this like bug free, then please let us know in the comments below. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So really good episode.
I really love how you made the super complicated overlay with like moving parts and stuff to make it more simple. I just love the contradiction. No, I've enjoyed doing a Halo podcast. We're going to hopefully do a Halo there episode 2 next week, and we're going to try and do it every week going forward until we don't want to anymore. No, until Starfield probably,
Yes.
And then we'll have. And if you, as I said earlier on, if you guys have any cool, funny puns for Starfield podcasts, let us know in the comments below. I really appreciate it because I'm a bit stumped. I can't come up with a good name. I mean, trying my best. I think X Marks the Box was a slam dunk of a name for a podcast. I think Halo there I quite like. I think it's quite funny. And I mean, so yeah, if I could you guys could help us with that, would be brilliant. Yeah, so thank you for listening to the first episode of Halo there, General Kenobi. Or Halo there, the angel from my nightmare. There's a couple of references you can do with that. But yeah, thank you for listening to the first ever Halo there. We will be back next week to talk about Halo, I guess. I mean,
and the NY2 event. That would be really incredible.
Hell yeah. I'm very excited. Let us know what you guys think of the new podcast in the comments below. If you enjoy it, share it with your friends and family and your nan and your auntie and your dog and all that. And spread the word. We want to increase the X Marks the Box network. Wow. Thank you guys for watching. And until next time, too sweet. We're going to come out with an outro for Halo. What's a Halo-related one?
No, it's just... It's just going to be the same as the X Marks the Box for the outro, but it'll be a different intro, which I still need to do.
No, I meant instead of me saying too sweet, I'm trying to think of a Halo-related pun to end the podcast. Yeah, we'll think of that. That'll be next week. Until next time, Spartan out. Does that work? I guess that works.
Neko out. Bye.
Thank you for listening to the X Marks the Box podcast. Follow us at X Marks Box on Twitter or X Marks the Box on YouTube. And follow us on all audio podcast services. Thanks for listening.